Hello there and welcome to the awesome Foursome podcast. My name is Sazwo. You can also call me Joe. We are joined by our three other members. That is Jamie.
Hello.
Robin.
Hello.
Ben, are you there?
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Sorry, I mixed up the order this time. I
say
for it.
that completely.
Yeah, really.
out.
Oh, I know.
I was not ready.
I wanted
This
to see.
podcast is ruined.
It didn't sound like you were ready for it.
I had to say hello on an intake of breath. It wasn't a good moment.
How does that even work? Hello.
It literally was.
Are we still going? I don't know
Oh, we're
what's
still
going on.
going. We're still going. We're in. We're in at the minute. Hello, welcome to the podcast. We've got a lot of things to talk about today, so I guess we should just go ahead and roll the intro.
And a one, and a two, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. The awesome foursome.
What a load of shit.
Yes, hello and welcome. It's another podcast, episode 3, guys. Are you excited? Are you
Three's
happy?
the magic number.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
that's what I heard. But quite a few things have happened since the last episode. Actually, a number of little things have happened. Me and Jamie went to see Ed Sheeran.
Oh yeah, that did happen. Yeah.
Ben went to see Katy Perry.
Way.
Robin stayed at home.
Robin got on with his life.
I'm living my best life.
How was Katy Perry, Ben?
Oh my days, it was immense.
Yeah, we all know you've got a huge crush on her. So
Well, she is my my favourite artist as well. She's got all my if I could pick any artist in the world to listen to for the rest of my life, it
Wow.
would be Katy
really,
That's
I didn't know
wow.
that.
That's
Ed
a
Sheeran's
a statement.
Bold statement.
because I am a basic white girl. So
brilliant.
Well, Ed Sheeran was fucking amazing. Yeah, it's great. I mean,
was, yeah.
in hindsight, I think we all said that we wished that we was actually down in the mosh pit because it just would have been even better. But
really,
Oh, of course, it's always
yeah.
better down.
yeah,
the
you want to
standing.
be in that mosh pit.
Oh, I know.
problem with people our height though is you get elbows to the face when you're in mosh pits.
It's
From
true.
people like me,
Very true. We're
Yeah.
not really apart from
Robin goes
we're
to
not on the
concerts
tour
just to
I'm
eat
the
that.
one. I'm the one punching and elbowing.
Yeah.
You
That's the
got
only
to
reason
jostle
Robin
for a
buys a
good
ticket.
position. Yeah. Yes, just like a five. I don't care who's playing.
Yeah, he's not even there for the show.
It's all fine. I keep going to like, these classical music concerts and just like
Andre Rear, bang, have
Yeah.
some of that stuff.
Just
He
play,
loves
like,
it. It's
the
like-
massive
it's the one-
orchestra, and he goes, "Oh, come on, let's get this started."
Alfie Bow was a real low point for me.
Alfie
man.
Lolo.
No, it's so anyway. Weird thing that happened to Ed Sheeran actually. Strange, suspicious man sat next to me.
What?
Oh yeah.
You can't talk about your brother like that.
I bought a ticket, you know.
the concert had already started, right? And I think it had started by that point. And then some random guy who looked like Ed Sheeran. I'm just saying that because he's ginger, but he
I
resembled
mean,
Ed Sheeran. in a
let's
way.
be honest. He was a poor man's Ed Sheeran. He wasn't exactly Ed Sheeran.
It does sound like you're describing Jamie right now.
So yeah, he comes up and so it was Jamie's girlfriend, Jamie, and then me, and then there was 2 seats next to me that were free, and no one had
Jamie
taken.
has a girlfriend?
No, oh, yes, he does.
When he turned up, did you
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
did you do did you do like a double take when he turned up? You sort of looked at him, then looked at the stage, and then you looked back at him.
I know, and I thought, what are you doing here? But anyway,
I was
he
fully
came up.
expecting him to start singing and walking through the crowd.
Yeah.
If you're here, then who's on stage?
So he came up, and he was stood next to Sophie. Who was at the end of the aisle, and she was sort of like just looking at him a bit weird. He was just standing there with a bottle, just a bottle of Budweiser or whatever in his hand. He was clearly a bit pissed.
He smashed a glass and he was just holding the shattered remains.
But he was just standing there, like clearly a bit drunk and just a bit out of it. And eventually he asked to like walk past and sit down. And so he sat down, not the right one next to me, but the one after that. And he just sat there, and pretty much for the whole thing, he sat there like miserable and didn't do anything. He was on his own, and it was really weird. And he was just acting really weird. And every now and then he'd get up and go, obviously I assume to get another beer or whatever. And then it was all very strange. I was put off a lot. But who pays? It's expensive. It's not a cheap concert. This ain't like Robin Gibbs concert. Do you know what I mean? It's
But not only that, after a while, I turned around and he was sat there, and he'd got a hood, and he'd done it all the way up to like his chin, and was just sat there slumped in his chair.
I think he had headphones in. I'm pretty sure.
He was listening to Katy Perry.
No, it was so weird. But obviously, you get a bit, at concerts and with the past and stuff like that. It's been, you get a bit like, suspicious. Like, fucking hell, this guy's a bit dodgy, and you start to get a bit, wary. But it was strange, and he just like, why would you pay that money to sit there? Clearly a bit drunk. He didn't say anything. He just sat there slumped. And the most he did, which was incredible, everyone ended up standing up in one of the songs. Yeah. And he also stood up. He didn't know what he was doing. He stood up and just stared around, but he stood up. He didn't want to feel uncomfortable sitting,
I think he was just readjusting himself.
Yeah, he stood up, just pulled his wedgie out and sat back down.
Maybe he was stood up on a date.
Well, maybe. No wonder he got so drunk.
Yeah, you didn't see that. That's why there was an empty space.
And then old Thinking Out Loud came on, and he held Joe's hand.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
You don't want to know what he did after that.
All the lights went out after that bit.
Yeah,
I had a fairly similar thing happen when I went to see Imagine Dragons in February.
I thought he was going to say, maybe it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was two blokes. Two blokes were sitting like a few rows down in front of us, and they were kind of like in their early 30s, I think, and they had like 2 beers, 2 pints each, which must be expensive at the O2. But anyway, so they had 2 pints each. And every, 15 minutes, they'd go and get some more. And then it'd obviously take a while to come back because the queues are hench. And then they'd come back with more beers, drink the beers, have a great time, go back and get some more. One of the blokes stayed and the other one went to go and get them both drinks. And he just never came back. This is about halfway through the concert. So there's a good hour and a half left. And he just didn't come back. And the bloke's looking around like, where's my mate? And then he gives him a phone call, which must be difficult to hear when you're in a concert.
Yeah, I imagine.
In other words, a complete waste of
Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
And he didn't answer. And the bloke's getting really quite nervous. And he's like, where's my friend? And we were all cracking up behind. But
He just laughing at him.
No.
Poor guy.
That's awful.
Who's the
and
loner
then that
over
bloke had
there?
to go down and try and find him. And then he never came back either. It was just quite interesting, I thought.
Maybe his friend got lost. I want to know what happened now.
Yeah.
You've intrigued me.
Well, I think maybe he got so drunk he wasn't allowed back in, but
maybe.
I'm not too sure.
I think he's still
He fell
queuing
down
up.
the stairs.
Well,
he's still queuing up to this day.
Yeah.
Katy Perry as well.
Yeah, maybe he was. They were all there. They loved it. Maybe he's just, maybe he's a believer. Well, hey.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe it's that was a
maybe
good concert as well.
Maybe he's a bit radioactive. Anyway, so that's sort of something recent. Today, me and Robin went bowling. That was an interesting
Pro bowler.
Which was I was atrocious, awful. I was an awful bowler. I don't know
What was
why.
your score?
Just you don't want to know.
Joe lost every game. He came last in every game.
We did 3 games, and there was 3 of us, and I lost every time. Although the first game I got 69, so you should be proud of that. But apart from that, it was awful, just terrible. I mean, I'd like to say I enjoyed myself, but truth be told, I didn't at all.
He hated it.
Robin was just like, it was the fact that Robin was keep getting like strikes and just getting these lucky spares and stuff like that, but he was just slamming this ball down into the ground. A technique I'd never seen. He was just wailing around.
You have to slap the arse. That's the technique.
Oh yeah, well I couldn't stop staring at yours when you was bowling along. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, that's stuff that's been happening recently. But the main thing that's been that happened recently was the big trip to Thorpe Park.
Whee.
Whoop whoop whoop
Again.
whoop. Again.
What a
I had a
day.
bonding time, guys.
A what?
I had a great time at Thorpe Park.
No, I'm sure you did.
He loved it.
Yeah, Ben, that was unfortunate, but that you couldn't join us. But we had a great time without you. So.
I think we had a better time than if you'd come.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Just straight up,
Just brutal.
It's a lot of
The fact that it was in a 3 led to lots of commotion several
It did.
times.
Oh, it
And
did.
it was great commotion. So
Is it about
there's
who
a
has
lot
to
of
sit next to who?
Oh, no.
well, this is the thing. So there's a lot of things that happened at Thorpe Park. so much I don't even know where to start.
Where do we
I mean,
start?
a strange thing that did actually happen. We was just walking we walked on to Rush, was it, or whatever? And then we was like, oh, we didn't want to wait in the queue. We'd rather wait for something else for 25 minutes or whatever like that. So we decided to walk back off again. As we was walking back off, suddenly just, oh, you're right, Joe. It was some old friend from sixth form. What's the chances?
Oh yeah, that was.
What are the chances of that?
Moment.
That was very strange. That was
And then he just ignored
the one thing.
Yeah.
I said, fuck you. No, it was just that was one of the strange things that happened. But then some of the other things were rather hilarious. So, well, where do I start?
Well,
so we're going on to Swarm. The ride Swarm.
Oh Jesus.
We're queuing up, and we're just about to go on with the next one's on. And there's a big commotion.
A bit overrated, I think.
I don't know. I quite like Swarm.
It's a smooth ride.
Yeah, smoothies. There was a commotion going on
Right at the back.
right at the back, and
me
Jamie and Robin have pissed
and
themselves.
Robin noticed this before you even knew what the hell was going on. We were just.
Well, I was in a different lane to you.
Yeah.
I had to go on my own.
Yeah.
So.
It was just unbelievable. There was just so much noise and commotion. We were like, "What the hell is going on?" And
Suddenly, this woman walked past. A big woman. There's no other words to describe it.
oh, she was.
a big woman.
Yeah.
She was-
I mean, if any, we could nickname her Big Bertha if we'd like to.
It would make it easier
I
for
think-
the story.
yeah.
So Bertha comes suddenly out of nowhere, marching down past the lines, past everyone,
Yeah.
and everyone's looking.
Like they'd stopped everything. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they stopped everything. Everyone, there's a huge queue. Everyone's looking at her. What's going on? And so she comes down the queue, and she's all huffing and puffing and all angry and stuff like
She
that.
was like muttering to herself.
So she's been muttering to
Yeah.
herself. And Joe, you said she was just going tits or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
she was
she
going,
was.
oh, bloody tits. Oh.
And then she waited down the end, and then just to make it worse, the employee or whatever, the steward, went, no, go down further. And,
Yeah, they just went, you have to leave the ride completely.
Yeah.
So
So
we
they
can't
told
do
her to
anything
keep
until
going.
you leave.
So
Yeah.
she was then huffed and puffed even more. Was like, for fuck's sake, and just walked off and marched off down the thing. Left her friend back on the ride. And apparently the reason was her breasts were too large for the ride.
Her boobs are too big for the harness.
They wouldn't let her on because she had too big a boobs.
I mean, I'm sorry. Can you imagine such a volume?
I mean, you have to imagine her boobs are so big they couldn't get the harness over it.
I
Never
couldn't
seen
believe
such
it.
a sight in my life.
I couldn't believe. No wonder. And how embarrassing! She's got to walk past everyone. She's going
Yeah.
tits, my fucking tits.
And
Did
then
she make sure she couldn't? I guess when she was walking back past everyone, she wouldn't have been able to turn around.
No, she nearly knocked everyone out.
yeah.
Oh
I almost
my
lost
god!
an eye.
That pokey nipple. Sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was another thing that happened, which was just insane. I've never seen anyone not be allowed on because their boobs were too big. But if anything, quite a compliment. I would have been strutting my stuff, coming off of that guy, and oh, look at me! I'm
Look at my
huge.
huge.
Quite a compliment.
So that was another thing that happened, which was hilarious. Another thing, we went on stealth. We managed to get Jamie, who is big. He's very fearful of heights. Managed to get him on stealth
I'm
twice.
fearful of
Actually,
most
twice.
things.
Oh, he's very, yeah, that's true. So we managed to get him on that. We got some
great.
hilarious photos, which we ended up buying because they were very, very.
Well, the
funny.
funniest thing with that bit is we got to the end of doing it the first time, and I was genuinely hyperventilating. I thought I was going to die. And then we got to the end, and then Robin went, "See, how was that? It wasn't that bad." And I went, "That was the worst experience of my life." And Joe and Robin just burst into hysterics.
Well, normally when you come off a ride,
man.
like you've been scared of going on, you come off and go, "Yeah, that was awesome. Let's do it again." But you was more scared the second time, which is just incredible. Didn't really understand
Amazing.
that. But anyway, the photos were hilarious. The problem is that obviously you bring them down onto the big screen, but everyone else was looking at them and then like double taking, like they
You
were
were getting
looking
compliments.
Yeah, people were like looking at my horrendous face on the screen and then looking at my face, like my actual face. And obviously I'm like crying in hysterics because it's just so funny. And the fact that everyone else is looking at this now as well.
I'm pretty sure the
Yeah, I
blokes
couldn't-
behind us bought our picture.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I saw him with a key ring on it.
He went,
Yeah,
"Oh,
so,
I don't want my picture. I'll have that one."
Well, it was the best photo, so.
It was.
Another thing that happened. Jamie got Jamie pulled in KFC.
Oh yeah. A rather old withered lady who worked at KFC.
Withered.
Yeah, I don't know. I was throwing my rubbish away, and then I just suddenly felt this old wrinkled hand touch me on my shoulder. I thought it was a few chips, but
someone just lobbed a bunch of chips at him.
And then I suddenly turned around. It was this old woman just like smiling at me. And she went, "How are you doing, my dear?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm good, thanks," and just sort of put them
She
in.
obviously thought you was disabled and lost.
Yeah, and then she just sort of looked and just sort of smiled and went, "Ah, that's nice," and then walked off. And I was like, "That's the most bizarre
It's probably
experience."
because you were still hyperventilating from stealth. So.
Yeah.
No, she came over and just went, "Oh, you got a bit on your face," and like got a napkin, started dabbing your face with it or whatever.
She licks the tissue and dabs him on the
I
face.
just didn't understand where she came from. She moved silently. She was like an enigma.
That's how they get
Yeah.
She was great. She was a lovely woman. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know what you was complaining
But
about.
it was only after I
Yeah,
went that I
she
realised
smiled
that
at us
my
on the way
wallet,
out.
my watch, and my phone had all disappeared.
you.
And you also had a giant erection, but that's like...
Yeah. We took care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Ruffin. We took what?
For fuck's sake, I said we took care of that.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought
It's
you
you
said...
direction.
Oh, sorry. That's embarrassing.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So another thing, we went on the new Walking Dead ride.
Oh my God.
Which was, funny enough, the worst ride I've ever been on, but also
where
at
do
the
we
same
start?
time, the best ride I've ever been on. Just
So I feel
like
we have to
what
start
was
the
it like?
queue.
well, just like when me and Jamie went to Alton Towers, and the Sonic Spinball was the best ride because it was just so funny. This was exactly the same situation. So, yeah, the queue. What do you want to talk about in the queue?
So the fact that we're not
yes.
free is important
Yeah.
because the group in front of us, the women shouted out like who's on their own because people have got to pair up.
Yeah.
She was they're publicly shaming.
Yeah.
They're
people
publicly
on their
shaming
own.
people on their own, and obviously me and Jamie was instantly like, you know, we're brothers, we have to stick together.
Robin, how horrible.
So they,
Hey, look,
I was
got-
terrified because I'd already been singled out at this point.
yeah. So the woman
Well,
was
so
like,
I thought
yeah.
I was going to get singled out at least.
Yeah, so anyway, we get very close to the front of the queue, and she points down the queue and shouts out like any odd numbers. We obviously immediately we're like, well, that's us. She wants us, and so we all put up
We
our
are the
hands,
chosen
and walk
one.
past everyone. So yeah, we automatically get past a load of people. So we've already skipped ahead
Nice.
in the queue.
But she just pointed and went like, "Come here."
Yeah, she went, come
She's
here.
like-
She did that little finger
Okay,
thing.
come
where
here.
they're like,
Yeah.
Everyone move. Let these losers through. There's an odd number.
Yeah, let them through, let them through. Then she went, which one of you's on your own?
Yeah.
And obviously we was
Yeah.
like, it's Robin. Me and Jamie stepped aside to let Robin come through. Anyway, I think Robin, you had to put the bag in the bag holder place. or
Yeah.
whatever. And then she said, right, you guys to the front.
Yeah.
To the front of
Yeah.
the queue. So not only
I
that,
can't believe it.
we all got pushed to the front of this queue. So we didn't just skip past the people already in the queue before that. We pushed in front because everyone gets like put into a big line.
Yeah.
Everyone goes in as a big
Before
group.
they
It's
go
like
in.
It's like a walk-through thing before the ride.
Like a maze.
Yeah.
A little bit, we're explained, but it's like, yeah. So anyway, everyone's already in these pairs, ready for this big queue. We already skipped to the front of the line. Anyway, so people were already annoyed because they're like, "Oh, we wanted to
Yeah.
be at the front and stuff like that." We were like, "We're sorry, we didn't choose this." And then,
We wanted to be at the back of
Yeah.
anything.
yeah, we was terrified because
Yeah.
we thought people were going to jump out.
I
on
didn't
us.
even want
This
to
is
go
gonna
on
be-
it.
Oh no, we was pretty we was quite pussies about it, but
Yeah, but she went to me. She just went, "When you get in there, there's a man waiting for you."
She did. She just went. She got all like silent, huddled up to us like a
Yeah.
little huddle,
Yeah.
and went. Now, just to let you know, all right, just to let you know, there's a guy in there, and he'll be waiting for you. I thought it was part. I thought she was acting.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
thought-
it was
Yeah,
part
I
of the
couldn't-
act. I thought she was going. Now Negan will be waiting for you
Yeah.
at the other side. You know. So anyway, we get pushed in first. It was awful. It was just a corridor. We just went, and it went on for miles. I swear.
Oh my God,
We
it was
just
ridiculous.
walked around these bends, and we was waiting for something to jump out, and nothing happened. We was just going down a corridor with lights.
But it was like
And-
pitch black with just like red lights. I couldn't see jack shit. I just thought I was going to get fallen
we
over.
couldn't see, so I kept making sure Robin was in front of me. So I just kept smacking him on the back like no tomorrow, just to make sure he was there
Like
all
a
the time.
racehorse.
Robin
Like a
was
racehorse.
running around like a chimpanzee.
He kept bouncing around the corners
Yeah, he
like
was.
about to hit someone.
And because Robin was
No
at the
one
front,
came out.
every corner he went down, he screamed out, and everyone else behind was shitting themselves.
So there was nothing though. There was nothing. We eventually got to the bit where the ride is,
And
there
they
was
they shouted. They went, "Where's that 3?"
Yeah, they went. Where's the 3? We've heard about the 3. And
It's been radioed through.
Yeah, again we skipped ahead of a bunch of people
Yeah.
again to go on the ride, and so me and Jamie are together, and Robin's obviously on his own, and the little roller coaster thing is a little tiny lap bar. I've never seen a more
It came
squished
round,
in
you
carriage.
Just thought, not going to fit in there. There's no
Could you,
chance.
Carriage the size
Just
of
fit
an
your
egg.
boobs in there.
Yeah,
No, there was no way she was fitting her
yeah,
boobs
she would
in
never.
there.
I don't think she'd fit on anything, to be honest. What's the point of going
Yeah.
to Thorpe Park, really? But she anyway. Forget boob
But
lady.
the man was there waiting for me.
Yeah, so Robin had to squeeze in with this guy, this random guy who we don't know, in front. Me and Jamie huddle into the back. We're in the back of the carriage. Robin's in front of us, and me and Jamie are just in hysterics because Robin's just had to squish in with this random guy, and we're laughing and we're smacking him on the back, going yeah.
And we went to Robin, go on, give him a little hustle. And Robin just gave him a little nudge and smiled, and he just did nothing.
Oh man! So
I
anyway,
was jostling.
Thinking about it, the guy looked a bit like Ed Sheeran, had a beer, and had his hood up.
So we was already like pissing ourselves, and we're also scared at the same time. So we don't know what's going to happen. Now, I'll just state
man.
this now. The ride was awful. I describe it as like an awful funfair ride
hilarious.
where they got like cardboard cutouts of walkers that they just have positioned round the roller coaster, the inside roller coaster, and literally it just wasn't scary at all. It was laughable, which is exactly what we did because me
These
and Jamie
guys-
were in hysterics. But we just
You were
kept
screaming at the top of your voices, and slapping me on the back.
We were screaming like little girls at everything. So we kept just seeing all these like pictures of walkers and stuff like that as we go past, just going ah.
And I was just next to this random guy trying to be like, we're not like.
Robin was
retarded.
trying to start a conversation. He was
Yeah.
like, so do you want to grab a KFC after this? Or...
I really can't stand these guys anymore.
Oh
Please.
my god, it's so funny. We was crying. We was absolutely crying, and we was just screaming at all this shitty like effects and stuff like that. It was hilarious. So it ended up being just the best ride because of how funny it was. Anyway, so that was the Walking Dead ride.
Well, now, hang on. At the end of that ride, didn't you run into a woman?
Oh yes,
so
that was the scariest
so again,
part.
You get off the
Yeah.
roller coaster, and there's another run through bit to get to the exit, but it just goes on for miles of going through these corridors, and again, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. There was no actors. There was nothing. Literally just a corridor, and suddenly there's this woman in front of me and Robin, and she just suddenly stopped dead in her tracks for some
I just
reason.
went ploughing into the back of
So
her.
Robin went ploughing to her. I went ploughing into Robin.
Excuse me?
So I hit into Robin.
we all just screamed.
I think. What did I say? I think I just went hello.
Yeah, you just
In her
shouted
face.
hello down to the end
Right
of the
into her
corridor.
face because I was
And
like,
he
Well,
just-
no.
yeah,
Well,
she
we
was
thought there was something down there.
Yeah, because she was like, why has she
Yeah.
stopped? She must be scared of science. So we was like, oh shit, here we go. This is the scary
So you sent
part or
me?
whatever. And so she went, she just went, oh, sorry, no, I'm scared of the dark. And we was like, oh, right. So I just grabbed Robin and shoved him down this corridor. And there was nothing.
Well,
Again,
the worst
nothing.
bit of that is you got to the end and
Oh,
saw
yeah.
her outside, and we were laughing about it. And she was like, "Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I just had to stop." And you went, "Oh no, it's all right. I thought you were an actor." In other words, saying, "I thought you were a walker," and her face just dropped, and she was like, "Oh, right. I see." That's the biggest insult I've ever had.
Well, speaking my mind. So anyway, that was the Walking Dead ride. Apart from that, I had quite bad flatulence is another thing. Just to add, I don't know why I've got that down. I've got that down.
Is that part of the notes?
I've got that down on my notes.
I don't remember that.
I've got that down on my notes right
I
here.
mean-
Just as farting.
Was that to do with Thorpe Park, or was that just now?
Is that now?
Just
like,
to
what-
update you on my flatulence.
Yeah.
No, I did at Thorpe Park. I remember we were specifically in the queue for stealth, and I farted, and Jamie just looked at me, and he obviously I was waiting for it, and I saw him. I saw him flare the nostrils a little bit, and he just immediately turned to me and just mouthed, "What was that? You?" As he always does. and I obviously can't give a straight face. I can't give a straight face, and this thing stunk because it was KFC. That shit tears me apart. I'm telling you. And fucking.
But we were trapped in the queue.
We was trapped in the queue.
There's no escape.
It was horrendous.
People were passing out.
And Jamie
It just
could
reminds me of
stand it.
Mr. Sim's sweet shot, mate.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
And now Jamie's Jamie's got asthma.
Now I physically can't breathe without an inhaler.
Well, now you're talking about this old flatulence problem you've got. You told us a story from your childhood. I just couldn't believe. I still can't believe it.
It's a classic story. It's a classic bedtime story.
God, yes.
Robin found this hysterical, which it is. It's one of it's one of the proudest moments of my life. I think. We was around our grandmother's, our dad's mother, who basically. I don't know what's the best way to describe. It's not
proper.
You can't just go round there and you can't just go round there and pass wind like it's no tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? It's you got to be proper. You got to be proper. You got to be respectful. Nana would not like that sort of thing. You know what I mean? And so anyway, I was obviously quite a bit younger, and one had been brewing for quite a while. And I could feel it, and I knew. I knew.
More importantly to the story, by the way, there was an entire family round there, so this wasn't just like a couple of people.
Yes, this is.
There was probably a good 20 people.
This is
in the room.
a lot of people. A lot of people who are also serious people who
quite serious people.
Not that they can have a laugh, but they're not like you don't go and pass wind in front of them. This is just not that sort of place. It's like
not the toilet humour sort of.
No. So anyway, I was young, I was bold, and I was brave. And I decided, well, I could feel it brewing, and I was like, "This is it. This is the one. This is going to be it." And I decided to. Well, I thought the best thing to do. I had to do it. There was no way I could not release that. It was probably about half my body weight in gas, and so I was like, I've got to release this. And so, but I thought I'd decide to cover it up. Try and cover it up with conversation. Try and cover it up. So I thought I'd say, pretend I was talking in the conversation and go, yeah, as a thing. But it ended up just as an announcement. It just G'd it up. That's all it did. So I just shouted out, and the room went silent as well. So I just shouted out, yeah, and let out this almighty fart that the biggest fart I have ever let out. And it was absolutely magnificent. It was obviously no one knew what to say. And
it was so pure.
It was so it was so pure and innocent, and fucking hell, that ruptured through that neighbourhood like no tomorrow, like an earthquake.
There was just silence.
Silence, and my dad
just looked at you,
just
in
pointed
shock.
to the garden. Yeah. And just said,
just said, "Get out!"
like a dog. He just like a dog. He just went out. Get out! And I was like, because I farted
past everyone. I went and sat in the garden on his own for like 20 minutes.
I sat in the garden playing with the flowers for half an hour. And Jamie was just looking through the window, laughing at me.
It's brilliant. No one said anything.
No one said anything. No one's ever spoke about it, but I still remember it as the greatest moment of my life.
I just love how you G'd it up. You
G'd
just
it
hype
up.
everyone up.
Yeah, I just went, yeah. Loud and proud. Anyway, that was that story.
Oh, my God.
Terrible.
I think there's not really much left to talk about with Thorpe Park, apart from the Darren Brown ride. Which is where it all kind of went wrong.
What a fiasco.
It's where
it was definitely a fiasco.
It's where the crowd turned against us.
It's where the public, just the general public, are just ridiculous.
They turned against us. There's no other word for it. They turned against us.
It started a chain reaction.
Oh, yeah.
It was a mob. It was a mob
Does
effect,
someone else want to explain this? Because I feel like I've done a lot of explaining here. I've been talking for half an hour. Yeah, go ahead.
So, well, it all started off when you go into the ride. We went into this first bit to take a photo, which was very strange. you go into a little hut, and then there's just like a glass screen, which just looked disgusting in the first place. And this woman just sort of said, "Right, press your hands and faces up against the glass, and just stare at the red dot." And we went, hands and faces.
And I just
went, yeah, you push your face up
out.
against it. And Joe just shouted out, well, that's very unhygienic. And
she wouldn't let it go.
Anyway,
She would not
She
let
wouldn't
that
let
go.
it go.
She thought
It made her
was
day.
the best thing she'd ever heard.
Yeah. She said, I'm going to use that one again.
She just kept saying it.
It was. It was horrendous. I was squishing my face up against this dirty glass.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, it was a complete waste of time anyway. I don't even know why we did that.
It didn't even work.
Yeah, it didn't even work anyway.
Man.
Anyway, then we got into the queue, and you're queuing like a normal queue, but just before you go into the ride is like, how do you describe it? Like a pen?
Sheep pen.
Rather than a queue?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a sheep pen. So they let a certain amount of people into that sort of area. So we're waiting and we get let in and everyone sort of goes in and starts queuing up. So we were queuing up as normal, and then the lady at the back, to fit everyone in, was saying, can you please move forward? Like, everyone kind of moved to the front. So we were like, oh, okay. So us three sort of moved to the side and went to the front. And then all of a sudden, someone just turned around. Was it a woman? This woman?
Yeah.
The woman
She
in
sort of
front of us.
Yeah, she just turned around and went, what do you think you're doing? And we were like, oh, sorry, we're just sort of got told to move to the front. We're just going to sort of squeeze up. She was like, no. Can't you see? There's a queue.
No, but
Don't be cutting in the queue and all this.
But it's the worst thing. She started turning around going, who told you that? Who told you that? Like,
Yeah.
who else is going to tell us that? Fucking, clearly the steward told us
It
that.
was ridiculous. But then this is when other people started chiming in.
Yeah. Basically,
yeah.
we turned around and suddenly now there's a queue for some reason formed around the
Which
sheep
makes
pen.
no sense.
No, it
They
made no sense.
queued
'cause
like
we-
round the
we-
side of it.
round the side of it, even though we knew that everyone was going to have to like get squished in anyway. But they didn't know that, so they had all formed this big queue of people. So we turned around and we're kind of just in like an awkward position in the queue.
We were just on our own.
Yeah.
And all these people are now looking at us really angry, like,
Yeah.
There's a queue here, there's a queue, and we're like,
Yeah,
well,
this
we
woman
got
was
told
just screaming
to move
at
up.
us.
Yeah, she was
People
so
were
annoyed.
screaming, ow, ow, ow.
I think that was just
Yeah.
me.
But it was
And we-
terrible because the people at the front were like, you need to get to the back or whatever, and then the lady at the back was saying, you
Yeah.
need to push to the front, and we were like, we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
Everyone, we were so confused. We didn't understand what was
But
happening.
we were so blasé about it because we was like, it really doesn't matter. Everyone in the sheep pen, a bit like the Walking Dead ride.
Yeah.
Everyone in the sheep pen goes in. You know, it's like a walkthrough bit. So everyone goes in that's in there. So it didn't matter if you was at the front
So we
or back.
said we'll just go to the back then.
Yeah, and then it was no. You're ahead of us. No.
Yeah, so then
you
this
do
guy
not go to the
chimes
back.
in and he was like, no, you were in front of us.
His eyes were bulging out of his head as well.
And we were like, no, honestly, it doesn't matter. And he's like, no, you're in front of us. You stay in front. And then the person in front was like, you get to the back. And we were like, ah!
Jamie started crying. Robin shat himself.
I was just weeping in the corner.
I just didn't know what to do.
Anyway, eventually everyone starts moving in. So everyone starts pushing in, like going through the door or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we was just letting a few people in front of us, and then the couple, the woman who was shouting at us with her husband or who had the bulging eyes, then sort of was there and then stopped and was like, "No, you're in front of us. Go ahead of us." And we was literally just like, "It doesn't fucking matter." And we went. All we did was walk into a massive room, and everyone got mixed up anyway. So it literally didn't matter. Oh, it was so
man.
frustrating. The
Some
public.
people.
It
was
got
literally
even worse
some
when they
people.
start shouting out saying, right, who's an odd number?
There'll be a man waiting for you.
Yeah, and it was him.
Just these bulging eyes
Oh
in
my
the darkness. Anyway, apart from that,
Okay, fun trip.
I don't think. Yeah, I think we've just spoken about it for like half an hour.
There was a big commotion on the ride.
someone
Oh,
punched someone.
God, yeah, someone punched the steward. The virtual reality, and they just
Love
went, ah! And just smacked him.
He got kicked off the ride, didn't he?
Yeah,
It's
it did.
just like, there's so many signs. It's like, don't hit the people.
Yeah.
So
What if you do? Don't lash out. What does he do? Lash out.
yeah. Anyway, right.
I can't believe it.
We spoke about Thorpe Park for enough. It was a great time. Enjoyed ourselves. But I think, considering we've just spoke about it for like 35 minutes, I would like to give Ben a chance to talk. And so I would love to go to a segment that we call...
Ben's story of the week.
Oh, I love the intro today every time.
Yeah? I'm sure you do.
Don't we all?
I was not expecting to go this early again, but
Well, we spoke for so long that I thought we'd got to give
mean-
you a chance. You know?
I'll be honest with you, I had fallen asleep by the end.
That is so rude. You're the only one that wasn't there. We're telling you.
Oh wait. Sorry. I'd taken a short power nap.
Do you have to do it with the voice crack there? Or?
Yeah, no, ignore that, please.
Power nap.
I do have a story. Not a recent story. It's about 2 years ago now.
Ooh.
It's a classic.
Long time brewing.
It's probably my favourite story to tell. So I'd finished my second year of uni, and a couple of my friends at uni were like, "Oh, why don't we go on a lads' holiday?"
I know this story already. Oh, yes. Carry on.
It looks like it's a crowd pleaser, this one.
Yeah, obviously.
Can I just say, I
intrigued.
really hope it's the story I think it is. Because if it's not, this will be embarrassing.
I've heard big things.
Well, if
about
it's
the
not the story, you'll have to remind me what the other one is, because that one sounds quite decent as well.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, we were deciding where to go, and we thought it'd be like our big group of there was about 6 of us at the time. So we were talking about where we're going to go, what we're going to do, and in the end, we left it down to like the place to choose down to my friend Armour, who is a Muslim, so he doesn't drink. And he went, I really want to go to somewhere like Magaluf or Malia. And I was like,
I wouldn't mention race and stuff around Robin, by the way. But anyway, just
oh no,
Sorry,
of course, no,
he was a what?
Brexit means Brexit.
Oh, God.
So I was like, you do know that's kind of like a drinking-based holiday. He was like, oh no, it'll be great. We'll go to the clubs. It'll be fine. I was
That's
like,
ridiculous.
"It's up
Who
to you,
does
mate.
that?
I'm happy to go."
What a ridiculous decision.
So it ended up only being 3 of us going in the end. It was him, my friend Sam, and obviously me. So we went to Malia in the end, and we're walking through the airport. So we got to the airport exactly the same time. Bearing in mind they went from Watford and I went from Harlow. So we got to the airport. We're walking through. We're having a chat. It's quite early in the morning, and my friend Sam starts joking about airport security because he's a man of colour.
Big mistake.
And he was like, "Oh, airport security is going to be fun. Can't wait to get pulled over." And I was like, "Oh, is this like a joke about people being racist? I'm not too sure. I'll just laugh along." 'Cause it's awkward. And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you definitely are."
Oh, good stuff.
You definitely are.
Or I don't know. So we make our way through. It's quite a long queue. It was at Gatwick, and I went through and didn't go off because I never do.
It wasn't a race joke at all. You
Armour
racist bastard.
No, it wasn't. Oh no. Armour went through, didn't go off at all. Sam went through, and the scanner went off, and I was like, "Oh, that's quite funny. You said that'd happen." And then he goes to the fellas. Oh wait, it's all right, guys. He pulls up his jogging bottom leg, and he goes, "I've only got half a leg. The other half's metal." I turned around like, what the fuck?
How do you not know this?
I'd known him for 2 years. I didn't know he had got a leg.
It's not possible. You must have known. Did he not?
How does that happen?
I don't know.
Did he not walk funny? Or
He had a little bit of a limp because he came into a lesson a bit late once. He went, I had a bit of a problem with my leg. I'd hurt it again.
yeah, a little.
I'd lost it.
A little. It's not there anymore.
I don't have one at all.
Or
Yeah.
something, I don't know. And he walked with a limp. I hadn't noticed the limp before that. So I thought, maybe he's broke his leg quite badly once. No, he just didn't have a full one. And I was like, oh my days,
Why
is
though?
This
Is that just
surprising.
like was he
Oh my
born
God.
with it or?
Yeah, I think it was slightly deformed when he was
I love
born.
the fact that he tells you this and you just think he's a complete racist. And it turns out he's only got one leg.
Yeah, the beeper,
Yeah.
the buzzer went off, and Ben was about to turn around, going, "Oh, that's so racist! How dare you, scum!" and stuff like that. That'd have been, oh god, that'd have been hilarious. Yeah.
I turned around. Armour clearly knew about his leg because he didn't put. It just looked normal. And I was
Imagine
like, hold on a
that. If that had
second.
been a shock to him. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
I obviously had to pull the kind of I already knew this because otherwise it just looks weird that
No,
I didn't know.
You didn't pretend, did
So
you?
I'm like, oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh, of course.
What?
Yeah,
Of course.
that old leg, that
Yeah.
old chestnut.
Ah.
Old Armour and his one leg. Oh, here we go again.
Sam had the one leg. Sam had one leg.
Did you mention
Oh,
it to
man,
this?
it was-
No, to this other guy. Then did you say to him at some point, like off to the side? Did you be like, "What the fuck? Where did he have fucking one leg? What was that?"
No, because they all assumed I knew. And I thought it was awkward if I
definitely-
told him I didn't know.
You had no one to discuss it with. You had no one to discuss the shock with.
Well, I'd assume
No,
you'd know.
exactly.
if
You must
you've
have had so
known
many
him for
questions.
So long.
Oh, I did, and then I was in shock for the rest of the holiday.
Do you know now why he only has one leg, or you still?
Oh, how is he supposed to answer? He's supposed to already know now. He's already gone with the lie. So
Oh, yeah.
of course.
you can't go
Why
around
didn't you just
asking.
say like, I didn't know you had one leg? Oh
Well,
my
'cause
god!
it's just
I'm too
ridiculous.
awkward to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the sort of thing. I'd be screaming.
He's got
What?
one leg
What
in
is
the
happening?
airport.
I just break down in the middle of security, like, what is
Yeah.
going on? Oh no, it was a crazy time.
That's horrendous. Yeah.
But so we went out on the we got there and we went out the first night out clubbing. Went quite hard on the first night, and he digressed that it was it's a new leg. It's a new prosthetic. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh
and he
my
went,
God.
so it's gonna chafe a bit because I've not worn it in yet, which I didn't know was a
What?
thing.
Worn it in. Wow.
Chafe wet.
And so we went
Yeah,
really hard
that's
the
what I wanna
first
know.
night. We were out till like 4 a.m. We came back, and he chafed the bottom of the rest of his leg quite badly.
Was he below or
Couldn't
was
go
it
out
above
again
or below the
clubbing
knee?
until the last night. He missed like a whole
What?
week's clubbing.
Oh my god!
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Why didn't he just bring his old leg?
It
Bring
seemed
two
like
legs.
a strange decision to change
Oh,
it right
no.
before a clubbing holiday.
Yeah.
Come on,
Could he
everyone
not like
knows that.
tape it up or bandage it up? Oh yeah, everyone knows.
Everyone
The
knows
new
when you
legs
go
are
on.
taking a while to
Everyone
wear
knows
in.
when you go on holiday, you bring two legs. It's a classic, you know.
Yeah.
Makes sense now, but obviously at the time.
Does he have to pay extra for luggage or whatever? Like being on the plane with a
What?
metal leg.
That's the most stupid question I've ever read in my life. Why would you have to pay extra? When have you ever got to the desk and they've gone, have you got any extra arms or legs, sir?
Well, that's
We've got a new
extra,
policy.
he hasn't got extra arms or legs. He's got the correct
Oh yeah,
number.
of course he hasn't. What am I talking about? He's got the same, you flipping idiot.
Does he need extra leg room? Is that
That's what I was thinking. It's like, is it could be a problem because it's probably quite well. I don't think it bends, does it? Maybe it's a
it does
foldable
bend.
one.
It was like a, it was
He
like a
wants
normal
bends.
leg.
If he
You
wants
know, you get
to
those
fold
bikes
it
you
into
cycle to work in, and they fold up afterwards.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So if he wants to sit on his knees,
Yeah. The prosthetics work like a normal. It's not just like a stiff rod that doesn't move at all.
well, how would you know, Mister?
Well,
I've seen
it
people
must
with
have worked
prosthetics.
pretty good if Ben hasn't managed to
Yeah.
realise he's got one leg for 2 years.
What did he? Did you never just notice him sitting there and just suddenly stuck the blade on and then just started sprinting like a madman? You know, that's what I want to see. Does he have a blade?
Just
Do
the
we know
blade. Yeah, does he have a blade?
I guess not. I've never asked. I've not really gone into much detail because it just shows.
I'd
that-
be asking so many
that?
questions.
I think if you was
Just
if
awkward.
if you was in that situation, you've got to go for the Paralympics. You just got to become a sportsman, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
It's the only way
You
to
gotta
go.
do
They can still run quite fast. It's not like they run significantly slower.
No, I'm just saying, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, fuck this, I'm just going to go and be in the Paralympics and just, train.
Well, I'm
for that.
able-bodied and I can't run faster than Paralympians.
No, I'm not saying don't train for it. I'm not just saying,
Yeah, you
just
haven't been
walk in,
training, though.
Just go, I've got one leg, let me in. No,
just chops off his leg and he's like, I'm going to be a Paralympian.
I'm just saying, I would train for it. I was saying, but I would take that up as, I'd probably more likely want to push that as a profession. That and also professional podcaster for the Awesome Foursome podcast.
And professional wrestler.
Naked
wrestler.
wrestling only. But anyway, so that
Naked wrestling.
was Ben's story.
Yeah, pretty much the whole story, though.
So, do we want to talk about the meal we went for after Thorpe Park? Because that was also very bizarre.
What happened with the meal?
Yeah, well, there was nothing crazy up until Joe went to the toilet. Me and Jamie were left to our own devices.
Nothing crazy.
Oh, that
Nothing
guy! I
crazy.
forgot about him.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. What a
Oh, I
guy!
missed out.
Well, go on, Robin. You say it. You remember it better than me.
Well,
So where did
I
you
just
go after Thorpe Park?
we went to
A
It was a
local,
Hungry Horse, I think.
a local horse.
A fine establishment.
No, it
very
wasn't.
fine.
It was.
I mean, it
cheap
was so
shit.
cheap. But you got so much food. I had so much chicken.
Doesn't mean it was good.
I couldn't
though.
believe it. It's all right.
It was awful.
But no, this guy came out with our desserts, and these they were just like, it was an interesting dessert, and he puts it down on the table, and he started trying to make conversation, and he was like, "Oh, it's really hard to carry these things," and then he sort of started to walk away, and then he came back and he kept talking to Jamie, but every time he just like kept adding more and more things. So
Yeah.
every time he went to walk away, he'd come back.
And it was every time I was about to take a mouthful of food, I was about to, and then he'd turn around and start to go, "Oh, right, okay." And he was there for probably about 10, 15 minutes. And he was just talking absolute shit.
But the worst part is that he just goes, "Oh, there was this one time where I put the dessert down and some guy just headbutted it."
And we just sat there
Wow.
and was like, what?
And
And he was like, yeah, the guy just sat there and just decided to smack his face into the dessert.
then he
absolute
complained
no
that it was
reason.
frozen.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
went, "My dessert's frozen."
Yeah.
That's
Um,
ridiculous.
Who does that?
Just a complete random moment.
I like the way you started that story with Joe went to the toilet and it all went crazy or something like that.
Oh, that often happens.
Yeah.
But then after that, bizarre, like people having gigantic fishes behind us.
Yeah, we was already a very laughing. You know, we'd been laughing all day. We definitely had the giggles throughout the whole day, and even then, and the couple sitting behind us, or whatever, in the booth after us. Suddenly, the woman came over with her food and just went, "One gigantic fish," like that. What? We just looked at each other. And went,
Hilarious.
gigantic fish. How big is this thing?
Just slammed it on the table. It's like a shark.
Loads of guys had to come out from the kitchen carrying it. It was just this big.
They were posed with it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, we should probably. God, we really. I don't think we're gonna have time for all segments this time, but we'll see. We'll go for a quick Jamie's food for thought, shall we? Let's roll the intro.
Jamie's food for thought.
That's the intro. As always.
I like this one.
Yeah, that one's nice.
Jamie's
Nice and
food
sweet.
for thought.
Yeah. Right, well, I'll do it since we're a bit pushed for time. I'll just do a quick one this week. So basically, I'm just going to come out of this. Excuse me.
Robin.
Just
That-
that wasn't even me.
Oh, you'll see it on the animation. It'll be like
I can't believe this. I've been-
he's gonna hit the roof. I think on that one. My head's getting off the screen.
I've been framed.
Anyway, sorry, Jamie. Go ahead.
Anyway, well, basically, right, what I want to know is, and I was thinking about this today, actually, right? I want to know who the first person to see an egg come out of a chicken's butt and think, yeah, I think that would be quite good to eat.
Robin.
All right, can I stop you there? What?
This is Ben's
An egg
second
does
favourite
not
story.
come out of a chicken's butt.
This is assuming that they've never seen an egg before.
Right, so
This
what
is
was
the
it?
first time I've seen an egg.
before, mate.
The first person, right, to ever like just see like a chicken walking around and just see it drop an egg out of its arse, right, and look at it and go, I might try and eat that.
Is this the same guy that thought it would be a good idea to milk a cow?
Well, hold on, what you cut out for me?
Say it again.
Is it the same guy that thinks it'd be a good idea to milk a cow?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no, this is the
precisely,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so strange. Like someone's gone and just gone. Let's pull these things and see what happens.
This cow has 4 penises.
Oh, this tastes delicious.
Someone's tried to wank off a cow and thought, oh, this is nice.
No, people, we've all tried it. So, hold on.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, come on, don't be hasty.
You've got to understand, if you're like starving, you're going to eat anything.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you eat the fucking chicken?
You can't catch the chicken, it's too fast.
Well, what if they went for the... Hold on, Robin.
Yeah.
Chickens, you don't actually realise chickens are unbelievably quick.
Yeah, they would never. You would never catch one of them. They've never been caught before.
Forget the cheater.
Yeah.
Robin, you're missing the fact that Jamie is in fact scared of chickens.
Oh my god,
That is true. That's not even.
Have
a
you
lie.
not seen like how aggressive chickens can be? They're
Yes,
terrifying.
I have first hand. Thank you very much.
That's Jamie's
Was that
biggest
Paradise
childhood trauma.
Wildlife Park?
It was
No,
Paradise Wildlife.
was
Park,
it?
but-
What happened?
Yeah.
Was you chased by
I
a
was
chicken?
I was a
literally.
young child, and
I think I remember being there.
basically there was a chicken, and then like a load of chicks behind it, and they were all walking along nicely. And I thought, I'll go and join along. So I joined in the back,
What a
walking
nerd.
along, pretending to be a
I'm
chicken.
gonna follow the chickens.
Yeah, exactly. And I followed. And
This
then
is
all of a
a-
Pretend
sudden,
to be a chicken.
the main chicken turned around and fucking went for me, and I was just running through the streets of this chicken. And anyway, it caught me because they're unbelievably fast, as we found out, and it just like pecked the shit out of my legs, and I was bleeding all down my legs, blood
This was,
everywhere.
This was last year.
I was
Jamie decided to follow the chickens.
I
I
was
just love
crying.
the idea that you're a happy little child and you're like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
be a
was.
chicken.
Exactly. That is the exact scenario. And yeah, and there was just blood everywhere, and it was just
Oh,
horrendous. And then,
That is awful.
yeah,
Well, don't follow chickens. That's obviously
Yeah,
the
don't
moral.
well,
fucking
of
that's
the
mess
story.
with
that.
What
I
happened
live my
was-
life by that.
Jamie was following this trail of chickens going, I really hope one of them shits out an egg.
He was learning. He was trying to learn.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
Well, I
learning the hard way.
assume, I think that someone went to go and catch the chicken, right? Someone went to go and catch it to kill it or whatever, and as they reached for it, bang, just pops out like a bullet. This
Or
egg.
pop straight into the back of their throat.
Yeah.
A whole egg. Like, whoa!
It was a force feeding.
Yeah.
This whole egg, and
Yeah, but raw egg is quite nasty.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying he just ate it straight away, but he saw
Yeah,
it.
see, that's the other thing. So who looked at the egg and goes, "Oh yeah, that would be nice to eat," and then you get past that bit and then
No.
think, "Actually, let's try and cook this first, then eat it." Like what?
Well,
what?
I'm sure-
Who would think that?
I'm sure they found the egg on the floor first before they saw it come out of a chicken. And then, so they'd already discovered about eggs, and they was frying them up with olive oil back in the day.
So as they're sitting there
back in
eating, and
ancient
then he
Italy.
suddenly looks to the right and sees a chicken shit one out, and he goes, "Oh god."
Yeah, he just looks and just goes, "Oh fuck."
I can just imagine the first guy getting the egg and cracking it open and going, "Whoa, this shell looks tasty."
Eats
Eats
the
the
shell
shell,
instead
yeah.
of the egg.
Yeah.
Well, that's how
Which
I
takes
eat
a massive crunch.
it. Yeah,
Anyway,
People
yeah,
do
that
eat the
was
shell,
that was
so.
my food for
The
thought.
shell's the best bit.
that's nice.
I mean, it's quite an adequate name, food.
Yeah.
For thought.
Yeah,
I think,
exactly. Thought it was
I
appropriate
think
this week.
we're pretty much, because of time wise, we're whipping through the segments. I'm gonna go straight into the Saswell's news roundup and get a quick one in there. Let's play the jingle.
Send nudes. It's news.
It's time for the news.
Saswo's News Roundup with your host, Saswo.
Okay, so that is the jingle. Is I don't know why I
What
always
did
say
I-
that.
No, news.
That was the jingle.
That was the jingle. So I've got two stories here, very quickly to whip off. So the first one
To what, sorry? Did you say to whip off?
to whip off.
Whip them off.
Yeah.
Is it
Come on, get whipping.
a bird?
Whip.
All right, you ready? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It could well be a Bakewell pudding.
What? That's an awful title.
That's a terrible title.
That wasn't.
Blow.
What
Wait,
what
where's this
newspaper
source
is this
from,
from?
Joe?
Yeah.
I just want to check where you're.
Hold on. That wasn't the actual title. That was just a clipping from it.
So you just made it
up. It's from no, hold on.
This is rubbish.
It's got nothing to do with the actual story.
This is from Sky News.
Fake news.
Sky, yeah.
Well, what's the title?
So this is
The
from
actual-
Sky-
Did you say
the
Sky
actual
News?
It's Sky News. Is that a bit more reputable for you?
Boo.
Oh,
Hey.
fuck. Okay.
Not the Mirror. We've
We've used all their
Boo.
sources.
So the actual title reads: Science pupils at Derbyshire school lose track of pudding launched into stratosphere. So they literally, I mean, it's just a quick story. I just thought it was quite funny. They basically, some kids at school, they put a tracker in that on a Bakewell tart or whatever, or Bakewell pudding, and just launched it up into space in a
How?
balloon. and now it's
okay.
been.
Just get which kid can throw it the furthest into space.
No.
Wow.
No, it's like a on one of them balloon things, and they go up and.
One of those balloon
And anyway,
things. You mean a
but the
balloon?
thing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I'm not a professional. Anyway, it's a high altitude balloon thing. So anyway, they was tracking it, but now they've lost track of it, and supposedly there's just a Bakewell pudding just flying through space now.
Well, I think more likely a fucking seagull probably drew fast and fucking ate it.
I wish that was the end of the
Those
story.
space eagles.
Those
So that was
space seagulls.
that was a quick story there, which I thought was quite interesting. But there was this one that I saw, which I did actually think was quite funny. And there's been a campaign to change the name of fire ants to Spicy Boys. And
Where
apparently,
do I sign up?
and apparently,
Please link this.
I
Put
will.
the link in the
I'm going
description.
to link it in the description because it's quite fantastic on change.org on one of their petitions. It's currently got over 94,000 people that have signed it. It's really like picked up.
I want to sign it.
And basically,
Yeah, I definitely want to sign this.
So
I think we should start a new boy band.
well, I think that there's the Spicy Boy. So
We are the spicy.
it says that thing basically says it's 2016, right? It's 2016. There's 36 genders, which is wow for one. Beyblade might be a new Olympic sport, which again, wow. And
Wow,
and
geez,
then
I'm
it
gonna
says,
be an Olympian.
so why
Yeah, I
aren't we
love
calling
Beyblades.
Fire Ant Spicy Boys? And I think they've got a very good point.
I mean,
The main
all I'm
thing
going to say
is,
there's no correlation between what you just said and what,
Yeah.
what the topic
What?
is.
No,
What's
Beyblade
What's
is a
Beyblade?
potential Olympic sport. Why aren't fire ants called Spicy Boy?
No, I'm just reading it. No, don't blame me. I'm reading it. It's on the petition. It's
No.
literally on the
Oh,
petition.
this is the article.
This is the worst story I've ever heard in my life.
yeah.
These boys spelt with an I.
Look, I'm just reading it, okay? But I mean,
What I want to know is if you've got Beyblades in the Olympics, what's the difference between Paralympic Beyblades and
one arm,
normal Beyblades? One arm. How do you
no
how
arm.
do you let it
Do it with your
rip?
teeth. Do it with
How do you let it
rip.
rip? Just give it to Joe. He's good at that. Yeah.
That's what he does before he lets it go.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was even more crazy. Is that it's Beyblade might be a new Olympic sport? I mean, that was the shit back in the
used to
day.
love it.
And
I
also
don't think I'm still going.
36 genders. What
Thought there was more.
more? I don't. What?
I can't keep up.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you've got sweet, sour, salty.
No,
Oh, wait, hold on. I
that's
think
just
I'm
the
on wrong
Spicy
thing
Boys. Who would we each be? Obviously, Paprika's got to be in there somewhere.
5 Spice.
5 Spice.
Robin's Five Spice.
I'm 5 Spice.
5 Spice. I think Ben would. Don't know.
Paprika.
Paprika. I'm just trying to think of things now.
Nutmeg.
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 Think, Jake.
Joe, you're cinnamon.
Why?
Cinnamon buns.
Yeah.
You're delicate.
I leave a horrible taste in the mouth.
Yeah.
If you take too much of it in one go, you will throw up.
Yeah.
Jamie is ginger.
You bastard.
That's so perfect.
Absolute bastard.
Oh, what an execution.
That was very well executed. I'll give you
I'm
that.
so
Well done.
proud of myself. That literally, thank you. I literally that popped into my head just then. That's so
Well,
perfect.
there you go. We've got the boy band sorted.
Okay, so yeah, that was my Saturday News Roundup. I think we should go on to the last segment, just to make sure we get it in there. It's our new one, known as Zen Corner. Let's play the intro.
Hello there, children. It is I, Guru Gibbs, and welcome to my Zen Corner. Whoever keeps banging those bloody gogs, will you shut the f*** up? Deep breath in. And a deep breath out.
Yeah, I like that. Tell me more.
Sorry, this is an off-screen segment for us. It's a personal one.
It's a private segment we do after.
Yeah.
We always do a cool down after the podcast, which is led by Guru Gibbs.
You've got to stretch after you podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stretch your arms, stretch your knees, whatever it is.
It was a huge success in the last podcast.
Yeah. I mean, was it?
I'm glad we had people like questioning so well live. Really, it was difficult.
It was
if we didn't
crazy.
have those live callers.
I mean, some might.
I mean, the phones are lighting up.
I mean, some might say that it's just not possible. But we beg to differ. So, have we got? Am I? What? Am I? Zen corner.
Are you reading a question that's come in?
So a question has come in. No, I'm not going to lie about this one. This one's from me. Okay. There's no.
It's a personal
There's
one.
no.
Well, just getting more
curtain
personal than
here.
this.
You know, there's no.
How much of a success has the sending the questions in been?
What? What did that?
Has there been much success with people sending questions in for this?
Not yet, but I think. Actually, yes, there's been loads. And if you want to send your question in, then just leave a comment below or tweet me at Saswo1. Yes,
and if you do send your comment in, I'm fairly sure it will get read out.
There's been loads. There's been loads of questions sent in. Hence why I'm doing one of my own.
Tough competition.
So, well, mainly my question.
I mean, I'll be amazed if someone's made it this far. Kudos to you.
Yeah, kudos to you. My
question
question is actually about bowling, because I was very upset earlier with my bowling game, and I was just wondering what tips you had for improving my bowling game. Really, sort of, what should I do? I heard there was a tactic to butter the holes, but I'm not too sure.
Butter the holes.
That's not part of bowling.
Yeah.
Grease them up.
I'm a big fan of slapping the arse. That's what I call my technique.
What, you slap your own arse?
I pretend I'm slapping arse and slap my own arse at the same time.
Jesus.
It's quite a sight.
I mean, I didn't see you do that once, and I was there. You didn't.
Oh, you wasn't. It's very quick. You wasn't watching.
Wow. I'm impressed for one. Is there anything else to add to that? Because what happens if I'm not into that? What happens if I've got a delicate tushy?
Well, you need to toughen up.
What?
Stop using so much baby oil on it.
Fuck this shit. What's the point of asking the question? It's just hurting my feelings. This is rubbish.
And my tactic was just throw the ball as hard as you can and hope.
There was one of them you just threw straight down. You literally aimed it down the gutter, I think.
Is that the one you put on Snapchat?
Yeah.
Or Insta or whatever it was?
Yeah.
No, there's one I threw right down the gutter and it spun back out.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Anyway, that was just my kind of question. But you didn't really help me. You didn't really help me out, but you know. Anyone else?
I'm not here to help people.
No. I mean,
I've had a question come through from an anonymous person. If you'd like to hear it, Guru Gibbs. So this person says
they have to do a ritual first before.
So this person says that they have a real problem with biting their fingernails. Right?
Oh.
Okay.
Why tell people this?
No. This is not me. This is someone completely anonymous.
Oh, I know.
But the problem they have is that they're addicted to biting their fingernails, but also have a really scratchy ass. What would you recommend?
Get your fingers in deep, because then your fingers will be so disgusting you won't want to bite them. Or maybe you're into that, and who am I to judge if you enjoy it? Enjoy it.
Wow.
I mean,
that was really quite profound, actually.
Well said, Robin.
Mr. Guru Gibbs.
It's not because I don't do it.
I've had a question come in here. It's another live
yes, my
question.
child.
I think it's the same.
Oh, it's so creepy.
I can't remember. What it is now.
Don't cry, damn it!
Get back under the desk.
What is the best way to go and buy condoms?
It's the best way.
That's a very good question.
Well, I've read
yeah.
I read a WikiHow article on buying condoms. And-
he actually did. That's not even a lie, by the way. He genuinely did.
And it says that you have to travel far away, but not too far.
How far's far away?
20 to 30 minutes, apparently.
Bloody hell.
Well, it made it out like you was a
Journey?
criminal, so...
Oh yeah, it's so you don't recognise anyone. That's
Surely
the
you
idea.
want to recognise them because you're looking at them going, "Oh yeah."
It was just, but it's bizarre. You got to cover it up apparently with a lot of items, but also you have to buy it in bulk as well. So
But in bulk, surely that's worth it.
yeah, no,
You got to
So
get
you're
ready
saying
for...
don't go and buy individual ones.
I don't think you can go to like Costco and buy
buy one at a time.
for like 400
Yeah,
just a massive crate of them.
You got to get ready for the winter, didn't you? You got to stock up.
well,
Hibernation.
It's like when the snow falls and everyone goes mental, buys all the milk. Like, I go and buy all the condoms. instead.
buys all the condoms for
Yeah.
winter.
Yeah.
But then, just at the bottom of the article, it says just buy it online, and there's no hassle. So
Yeah, that's a good point as well.
But
Unless
then
the
when you
people
buy
then-
online, do you reckon that is there like a
then you
specific
can't try them
site
on.
or-
That's the problem.
try on before you buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin, like when people like try clothes on over their other clothes in shops, Robin does that in
I'm a big fan of the extra safe ones.
Oh, that was extra safe ones.
Super thick. It feels like nothing at all.
It's got a numbing agent in it, I think.
Yeah.
It's like nothing at all.
I just like buying ones that are better for the environment. Those recycled ones.
Yeah. Or just
No.
get rid of them altogether.
Yeah, just don't use them at all.
Just use bin bags.
Just use bin bags.
Or a bag,
too
or
small,
a bag
aren't
for
they?
life. That's what they're there for.
One of those Hessian bags.
That's a bag for producing more life, I think.
I know, it works well. I
But
like
hang on,
it.
surely it would be for stopping, wouldn't it?
Well, no,
Storing.
that thing ain't gonna stop shit.
Storing life.
Restoring. It's definitely
No,
been
What's the
story.
opposite of pro-life?
storing.
Anti-life.
Anti-life.
Bags for pro-life. Is that it?
Anti-life.
Not
You're an
anti-life,
idiot.
it said antelope.
Oh.
Eric Cantaloupe.
Oh man.
Still gets me that one.
We've gone back to the beginning.
It's a full circle. No,
I can't believe it.
well, yeah, go on. What you want to say?
I was gonna say I tried to make my racing snail go a bit faster the other day, so I took off its shell, but I ended up making it more sluggish.
No.
Whee.
That's, boo. Boo.
And
Hey, it's
now
not
you
from
boo
Sky
me.
News, don't worry.
It's for the mirror.
So, Ben tried to give me tips on condoms because Ben keeps about 10 in his wallet at a time.
Oh, we don't want to talk about this.
Actually, I wasn't even going to go on to that.
We kind of
I wasn't even going to go on to that.
It's just bizarre.
I mean, we won't talk about it in this episode, but I will briefly mention that Ben holds the
teaser.
biggest world record, right? As far as I'm
I
aware,
don't want to talk about this.
he has he has done the deed.
He's an athlete.
No.
I
He's
won't
an
say what it
athlete
is.
in the
I'm just saying
bedroom.
he's done the deed. Was it 10 times in a row in a 6-hour period?
Yeah, that's not. That's
An
not
endurance
what it was, is it?
athlete.
Now that's
The
not.
other way around.
What happened was, Joe I asked his girlfriend round for their first night together. And ended up having terrible food poisoning and threw up all over her during.
She just entered the room going, "Look at me, Joe, I'm so beautiful." And Joe just threw up all over
It was
her.
2 girls, 1 cup.
I mean,
You're
if I would've-
idiots.
it's the fact that it's not far from the truth, but you know,
And it keeps happening. That's the worrying
no,
part.
it doesn't.
Yeah, reoccurring.
No.
Yeah.
But
Is it
anyway,
something about me, Joe? Is it me?
is it me?
But,
No, it's not. Bob.
Ladies, you can be sure that I won't throw up on you unless you're into it.
That's the good boy guarantee right there.
The gift boy guarantee.
No, that basically. Anyway, I wasn't actually going to go on to that story about you, Ben, but it kind of just trickled out. But
I thought you were going for the whole 2 condoms in the wallet.
well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what,
what I
I
thought you
was
were
sort of
going.
saying, but I exaggerated with 10, and it kind of led on to the.
How do you fit 10 condoms in your wallet?
You see, Jamie's
wallet.
is so bulky.
Yeah, his
Condom,
wallet's
your You've got no
huge.
money anyway, so it doesn't matter about having anything else.
Jamie's wallet is ridiculous. It's massive.
Thank you.
I mean, my worst nightmare happened. I was like, oh, I don't want to have to buy these items, these items, the sinner items, I did
The sinner items.
and my worst fear was like, oh, they're going to be like security protected, and the alarm will go off, and then the security guard would come out, and you can imagine in your head, it's like when every young boy becomes a man, he must go through this, but I imagine in my head that I'm going to get beeped, and all the alarms going to go off, everyone's staring at me, and they open the bag, and in there's just a load of Johnnies. But but anyway, Robin obviously assured me, oh, this would never happen. This is
Can
fine.
I just say, that'd be hilarious if you open your bag and there was a load of different types of Johnny in there, like Johnny Cash, Johnny
Bravo.
Johnny Bravo, just all their heads in there. Hello. Anyway, carry on.
But as you can tell where I'm going with this, my worst fears came to light. But the best part is that I bought a load of meat to go with it. So I had an assortment of meat.
Salamis and Savaloys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily, I don't know. I managed to get away with it. He sort of just checked the meat. The security guy just looked in my bag and looked at the meat and went, "It's got to be the meat."
The steaks.
He grabbed hold of your bag, checked out your meat, did he?
Yeah. But I've beeped on the way in, which makes no sense at all.
Robin beeped on the way in. He was bringing in. That's what we was talking about the other day. He brings in items or whatever, and the security guard goes, "Stop
Puts them
him!
back on the shelf.
Stop him!
Stop it.
Yeah." He's bringing him items. Stop him! Take him down.
Oh man.
Oh man.
But every time we go into a shop, Joe just becomes so camp. It's unbelievable.
It's because it's just me and Robin, and then I imagine that I always think people are looking at us thinking we're a gay couple.
But it just like happens naturally. You just go really camp.
Which didn't help when you're in there and you've got to buy condoms, and the pharmacist looks at you, and Robin's gonna turn around and just go, "Oh, I can't wait for our first time, Joe."
I love it.
I remember the first time I had to go and buy condoms, and I went into an Asda.
How many did you buy?
And I just bought your standard
Bulk
pack.
buy.
I don't know if it was a 10 or a 6 or whatever it was. And I thought, I've got a great idea. If I go to the self-service...
No.
Oh,
This is
dear.
my
problem.
It's worse.
That was
And,
my fear as well, and I was like, I know it's just going to beep and there'll be some age restriction on it, so I just ballsed it instead.
Well, you all think far more ahead than I do. Because I went into the self-service and immediately it went beep, 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 beep. This
Everyone
guy
looked at you.
is buying condoms.
Yes!
It's a big announcement comes up on the screen over the voiceover.
Would you like to buy these
working there.
condoms?
The girl working there came over, had a look at them, had a look at me, scanned the little card thing, had another look at me, and just walked off. That's just not
That's great.
intimidating.
Maybe she was coming on to you.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe she licked her lips and winked at me.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie's
And you've been together ever since.
Jamie's biggest advice was don't buy ribbed and dotted. Clearly there was a bad clearly there was a bad experience there. But I don't know if you'd like to elaborate, Jamie.
Well, yeah, you don't want to buy the ripped ones.
Yeah, see, Robin knows.
What? Does Robin know?
Well, he knows.
I do now.
I don't know
Very
what is going
lucid
on. You two just flirt like there's no tomorrow. I can't stand it. I mean, like,
God,
what?
sexual tension.
The sexual tension's unreal.
Should have seen us on those roller coasters.
Yeah, yeah, you didn't know what was going
Oh,
on.
what a thrill.
He wasn't
We
actually
need an odd
nervous.
number. We need an odd number. Yeah, Joe, you can go. Robin and I can sit next to each other.
He wasn't actually nervous about stealth. He was nervous that he had to sit next to Robin and hold his hand.
Yeah. You should have seen us on the Darren Brown ride when we put the VR on. We didn't.
Yeah,
They were just making out in
we
the
had a
corner.
great time.
That was our moment to learn.
I thought the screaming was the VR.
No, and then the occasional touching of the knee was actually something else.
Anyway, on that note, it's been quite a podcast. but it is very humid at the minute, and because of noise and stuff like that, I've closed my window, and I won't lie, I'm dying. There's sweat.
It is hot.
Actually, it's
sweat
a very,
just pouring
very
off my face.
similar situation in my little box room here.
Is it bad?
It's atrocious, yeah.
Because I'm literally just...
How is living under the stairs?
How are you, Harry?
Harry's doing fine. He's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, come on, Ron.
What?
Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us. It's been quite the pod. Pod.
Do not hesitate to share this with your friends and family.
Please do not. Although maybe the family, maybe not the best thing to show them.
Grandmas, granddads. Love it.
But that's up to you. We'll leave it up to you.
That's our biggest demographic.
Can we try and do a goodbye all at the same time?
No, that's not going to happen.
Yes, it will. It
Let's
will.
go for
I'm gonna go.
What, like a kids'
Right.
TV show?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go. Right. Let me just explain. I'll go 3, 2, 1, and then we're all gonna go goodbye like that. Ready? Okay. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All a load of shit.
Wow, that was